Happy Manga Monday. And if you're new here, hi, hello, welcome. My name is Zoe, and this is my channel, Ms. Manga, where I talk a lot about manga. And if that sounds at all appealing to you, then please hit that subscribe button, maybe the like button while you're at it, just because you're so nice. No matter what you do, I hope you enjoy the video. And today I'm just going to be taking you through my little horror section, more mature action. Can be gory and gruesome or psychological, but I've put most of them in this area, not all. I don't have the setup that I'd ideally like to have. If I had a room with less windows and doors, I would have more of like the manga library aesthetic, continuous bookshelves. It's my dream. But for now, I just like to kind of sort my books in little sections based on genres. Like, this is my romance room, and then I still have BL and some other romantic more titles in the other room. So, you know, it doesn't all work, but I do the best I can. And anyway, I'm just gonna take you through that. And yeah, let's go. All right, and here we are in the horror manga section. It's mainly this small shelf behind me, and then this shelf to my side. And I'm just gonna be flipping you around and showing you up close some of the series and some of the covers I love, and yeah. That's it. That's all, folks. So I'm going to just show you an overview of the shelves and all the little knickknacks and stuff on it. I turned off the twinkle lights so I could share with you my beautiful light up Levi. I only have one plug and the ring light is taking up the Levi plug. But anyway, enjoy him. He's so cute. And then I'll turn the stars back on. But yeah, I have like some fallish decorations, just some cute decorations. But I figured they'll get in the way of sharing the actual covers of books, so I'm going to take them off when I share with you more in depth. And yeah, so I have a lot of books stacked on top of other books right now. It's not ideal, but kind of just have to make the best of it, like I said before. And then we're getting to the very bottom shelf, way down there. So a few things before we begin. These are new. They'll be in my haul video. I put them here to see, like, trying to, you know, put them in to make the room, because if I didn't, I would just start shoving things in, forgetting I had the rest of that series that I finished. And also I have a bunch more of Pluto and also Angel of the Death I finished, so it's gonna be, you know, and I just put him as a placeholder again just to make sure I didn't fill it up and lose the space for it. So that's just the reasoning behind that stuff. And close up on the cute Forger family. Okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty. Okay, so first up is my Junji Ito series collection. You will notice, if you're a Junji Ito fan, that two are missing. Obviously, Uzumaki, and then another story collection. So those are actually on my TBR cart right now because they're the last two volumes I need to read before my Junji Ito tier list, or really in these cases reread, but I read/reread every single Junji Ito volume to make this upcoming video at the end of October. So please smash the subscribe and notification bell so you won't miss that. I am super excited for that one. And yeah, so I have all of these are Junji Ito until here. And then we have Orochi, which is by another big horror mangaka, Kazuo Umezu, who I'm pretty sure influenced Junji Ito, but and yeah, I just thought these hardcovers looked really cool, really just creepy, and I don't know, they're really beautiful and I love it. I also especially love, see, this is why I was trying to take everything off. I love how the gold is so reflective and beautiful in this light. But yeah, I have yet to read this series. If you have, let me know what you thought of it in the comments below. I'm really hoping to read them by next fall, but we'll see. So then we have my Naoki Urasawa collection with 20th Century Boys, which I read early this year, and Monster, which I read, is it 2 years ago now? I feel like it's just yesterday, but I think it was about 2 years ago. And I haven't collected more of Asadora, but I like the first volume. And then I have Pluto, which I did mention I have more of. I'm only missing one volume, so once I get that volume, I do plan to read this series by Urasawa. I really love what I've read of both 20th Century Boys and Monster. I absolutely highly recommend them if you like psychological thrillers and the spines of 20th Century Boy. Let me just zoom in on that. So cool. If you like more of the cult and out there vibe, or you like the more psychological thriller vibe, these are both great. And then we have Angels of Death. So I actually haven't read past like volume 2 of Angels of Death, nor have I seen the anime that came out a while ago. But I liked what I had read, and it was complete at, I believe, is it 12 volumes? I don't know, but I got all the rest of the volumes before Right Stuff's dissolution into Crunchyroll. So I'm excited. Again, maybe next year, Halloweeny read. I don't know. But yeah, and then I got High Rise Invasion, which I had just finished earlier this year, and it's a survival game story where they all end up in this world that has just a bunch of high rises, and they have to try and survive. Then I also have Magical Girl Spec Ops Asuka. Again, I've only read a couple volumes of this. It seems like a more fan service-y series, but with badass women, and I will take some fan service if my women are badasses, and these definitely fit the bill. I'm up to volume 8 right now, and I think it's complete at, gosh, again, it's 12 or 13 volumes, something like that. But yeah, and then I have Wonderland back there, which I just completed like last month or the month before. I have Summertime Rendering, which I have a whole video about. If you're at all interested in hearing about Summertime Rendering, highly recommend you checking that out. I think it is a really good time travel shenanigans action-packed read. Oh, I meant to grab this one. And yeah, it is complete at 6 omnibuses. So yeah, I also recommend you getting the soft cover because the hardcover are stupid. Sorry, I'm still salty about certain things. Then we have Ikigami, which I read a long time ago before I started this channel, or even had thoughts of starting this channel. But I'd love to do a reread. It's a very interesting, again, kind of psychological story, because the Ikigami is a like 24-hour death notice that people are like assigned randomly, and it shows like how people deal with knowing their death is imminent. I don't know, to me it's very interesting, so highly recommend that one. And then we have King of Eden, which is a collab between a Japanese and Korean mangakas, or I don't know what a Korean mangaka equivalent would be called, but you know what I mean. 2 authors, and I really liked it. Actually, it doesn't have high ratings, and I wouldn't say I highly recommend it or anything, but I think it's an interesting read. If you like stories that like delve deep into like religious allegories and philosophical and historical, you know, pull from those type of things, then I think you might find it interesting. You know, I don't know. It's a specific type of interest, like a niche kind of interest, but I liked it anyway. All right, starting up here, I have the original Helsing. I heard or saw that they are reprinting these editions now after reprinting the hardcover editions, which I also bought because I'm a sucker. But yeah, so that's cool. And then I know, why are these here? But like, I don't have much room to put them, and I can't really reach the shelf because I'm a shorty. So, you know, I just put these magazines up there, Japanese magazines. I can't read them, but they're beautiful, so I couldn't resist them. So starting up here, we have Livingstone. I really like Livingstone. It's a kind of short supernatural horror story about this team. I love this cover, so I had to get to it. This team of two guys who help kind of coax people either off the ledge or to jump from the ledge, kind of, essentially, if you get my drift. It's interesting, and yeah, I really recommend it. It's a nice short 4-volume series, and I think it's really cool, and I think it's really interesting, and it's got a pretty impactful ending in my opinion. So next up is March Story, which is complete at 5 volumes. I wouldn't say it is, you know, a favorite read of mine. I do think the art is really nice, and it's a Korean manhwa, so I don't know, you know, I've kept it because I found it an interesting read. Just didn't necessarily love it. And then we have Soul Liquid Chambers, which is a 3-volume zombie apocalyptic type story. I was really getting into it, and then it ends very abruptly, and I found out it was canceled, so it never got a proper ending, a proper resolution to all the, you know, pieces of things that are brought up through the series. So in that manner, I wouldn't recommend it, but I had a fun time with it, so yeah. Sadly, that happens with manga sometimes. Next up is the Kurosagi Corpse Delivery Service omnibuses. So there's 5 of them out right now. Yes, I didn't even bother to take the wrapping off the 5th one. They release so slowly. I'm sick of rereading, sorry. I do love this story. It's a very interesting take on a supernatural story, like in my opinion anyway. And it's about some college students who are just trying to make some money, and they all have interesting supernatural abilities. And so they try and kind of get money and also help the dead. So yeah, I really like it. I just wish frickin' Dark Horse would release these faster, because I'm pretty dang sure it's, if not complete, it's way ahead of what we have in America. So it's a bummer, but yeah. Moving on from me being salty, we have Alice in Murderland. I think this is such a fun battle royale type story. I absolutely love what I've read of Kaori Yuki. Though I haven't read her kind of most well-known one, Angel Sanctuary. I really do want to soon. But yeah, I just think this is a fun little action horror spoof. And by horror, I mean like more just like gore horror. It's got some bloody moments and stuff in it. But yeah. And then we have Demon from Afar by the same mangaka. I started the series, and then I finally ended up collecting the rest of them, but I haven't read them. So yeah, I need to do that as well. And then back to another Kaori Yuki series that I have read, Beauty and the Beast of Paradise Lost. So I really didn't realize that the 5th volume was the last volume. Like, I guess I did not, I don't know. I really thought it was going to be longer, and it's not that I disliked the ending. I thought it wrapped it up pretty dang well. It's just that it felt a little bit like, oh, here we go. It's the end. I'll wrap it up in a bow for you. So yeah, I don't know. I just expected it to go further, but I still enjoyed it. It's a nice Beauty and the Beast kind of retelling, darker, and yeah. Then of course we have Hell's Paradise. Oh, we got, oh, there's my girl. Yeah, I read this when it was coming out, and I hadn't seen the anime. I do need to see that. But I was enjoying the manga. It's another survival story. A bunch of convicts are dropped on an island. They're looking for kind of the elixir of immortality or what have you. And it's, you know, very much just like kill or be killed vibes. And I really liked it. It was a fun time, fun read with some heart to it. So yeah, if you like those type of stories, I definitely think you should pick it up. And then last there we have Shibuya Goldfish. So like I said, I just finished collecting this series. It will be in my next haul, so spoilers there, I guess, for a couple of these, but yeah. I really liked what I had read up to in Shibuya Goldfish. It's just that they were pricier volumes for what they are, honestly. Like, they're like one of the $15 ones, and yeah, it's just sometimes hard for me to buy those. But anyway, I love the idea of giant man-eating goldfish attacking. Yeah, it's like Attack on Titan with goldfish, and maybe not so deep, but I just love the concept. So yeah, if you like absurd horror, that might be for you. And then we have Can't Stop Cursing You up here. It's complete at 4. Another one that I cannot believe it's complete. Like, I was really enjoying this series. I don't know if it was canceled. I really have my suspicions it was, because it just ends again very abruptly. A lot of loose threads, like a lot of incomplete, things that they started to hint at, a bigger, conspiracy of stuff that they start to reveal. And then it's just like, oh man, we're done. So that's a real shame, because I really was enjoying this. It's got really beautiful covers, really solid art, and yeah, just an enjoyable mystery horror series. Next up is a short 3-volume series, Ghost Diary. Actually, I have not read Ghost Diary. I don't think I've read it, to be honest with you. If I did, I don't remember. And then we have Yokai Rental Shop, and I honestly super like this one. I didn't think I would like it. It's kind of a little bit of a slow start. I don't know. Maybe I just wasn't vibing with the first volume, but by the end, the 4th volume, it's short and creepy and just a nice Halloween-y read. You might see it again shortly, so I won't say too much now. And then moving back over here, we have Alice in Borderland. I've raved about this series. It's my favorite ongoing survival game type story right now. So yeah, I'm really excited. The 9th volume, which is coming out next year, I think sometime in spring, is the last volume. So I think I might just start it over, or maybe just start from volume 5 or something. I don't know, just to refresh and then finish it and compare it with the live action drama, which I also liked. We have, of course, Witch and the Beast, which I already talked about recently. So if you want to hear my thoughts on this one, check out my beautiful covers video. It has gorgeous covers. I really love all the covers. I'm trying to show covers I didn't show in the video, because I didn't show all of them. And yeah, there's so very nice witchy dark fantasy series. And then we have Heavenly Delusion, which I need to catch up on, and volume 6 just came out. And this is more of a dystopian end of the world's got some strange things happening in this one, just more of a psychological type horror-ish one. So yeah. Then we got DRCL, which I just talked about in my first volume type spooky reads, manga worth screaming about, as well as the first omnibus of Homunculus, which I thoroughly enjoyed both of these. I have high hopes for these series. Here on the bottom, we have the volume omnibus of Homunculus I didn't read. Then we also have Fairy Tale Battle Royale. I still need to get the 4th volume. I don't know if that's the final volume. If you know, let me, I tried to look and I didn't see that it said final volume, but yeah. And then Sleepy Horned Witch Romi's 2nd volume is finally coming, and I'm super excited because this was a really weird, interestingly, darkly atmospheric read, and I'm very curious to see how it will continue, or even if the 2nd volume is the final volume. Again, sometimes I don't pay attention to these things. Oh, jeez. And then we have Prophecy, which I think just got an omnibus release. I haven't read this one either yet. I was gonna hopefully read it this spooky season, because I think it's more of a psychological thriller type story. From what I remember about the summary, kind of having to do with terrorism, I believe. Don't quote me on it, but yeah, but I don't know. Maybe at the end of the spooky season, I'll get around to it. And then we have Colorless, which is a darker dystopian, yeah. And then we have this interesting Semalparas. I don't know how you say it, but it's kind of a battle yuri. I enjoyed the first volume. It's a little bit heavy on the fan service. A lot of voluptuous ladies in this one as well, but I do want to continue reading more of this one. And then going back down here, we have Phantom Tales of the Night, which is another series with absolutely stunning covers. I love it so much, and I talked about this in my underrated manga review video a couple months back. So that's why I didn't end up in my beautiful covers video, but I gave some bad information that volume 11 was supposed to be the final volume. I did see that online, however, it is very much not true. Volume 12 is coming out. So ignore that if you do watch that video. Sorry about that. Then we have Psalm 100. Oh, this is a dark supernatural series, by the way. I really like it. And then we have Psalm 100, which is the bucket list of the dead. It's a fun zombie story. I think I really like it because it's not your typical just survive zombies, which, I mean, that is an element to it, of course, but it's also just so much more fun. It's about these people making a bucket list of things they want to do before they're turned into zombies, and then they're also kind of looking for a cure and stuff. The typical zombie survival story-esque, but the comedy and the just buffoonery of it is what I love. And yeah. Then we have Gangsta, Cursed, and then Gangsta. So this is a really great series that has not had like much happening in years now, so don't know what's happening with Gangsta. If you have any updates, let me know in the comments. I really love this, you know, mature, seinen, graphic action series. I'm trying to describe them. I am terrible. But yeah, I really just like, I need more volumes. I want more. Where are my, like, I don't know. But I haven't read Cursed yet, so maybe I'll give it a nice little reread. I think this is a prequel, and that is complete, and then it goes into Gangsta. It's talking about some of the characters that come out in Gangsta only before this starts. Yeah, you know how they do. Then we have the first volume of Dorohedoro. I read it and it's very weird, but I do want to collect it. I just haven't yet. It's a longer series, so it's a bit of a commitment, but yeah. Then we have The Summer Hikaru Died. I talked about this, in this video. I don't remember which, so there you go. I really enjoyed it. I think it's a good summer read, even though summer's over. It's also a good spooky read because it's got spooky stuffs. And then we have Boys Abyss. This is a really dark, like one of those just like Horizon, Boys Abyss, No Longer Human. I would all kind of like group those together with just a very much dark plot, dark atmosphere, kind of hopeless vibes, a lot of suicide, so if that's a trigger, I wouldn't recommend it. The Horizon is also very dark. Oh, it's a manhwa, sorry, so it's on this side. It's very dark. It's very like interesting because there's little to no dialogue throughout, really, and it's kind of about these kids struggling in the aftermath of a huge, if it's some kind of war or, you know, large battle that has taken place and left them very much some of the few survivors left. It's, yeah, dark and depressing. Now we have PTSD Radio, which again might be showing up on my channel sooner than later, so I'm not going to talk too much about this one. Volume 2 I just got, luckily, in time for my upcoming video. So it's going to be in my next haul, and Volume 3 is also on my TBR card, so that's why it's not here. Next up, we have Dogs. Again, another series. Oh, gosh, I really should put Gangsta, Dogs, and Black Lagoon next to each other because they all are so good, and yet they just kind of drop off, and I don't know if we're getting more of them. Here's Black Lagoon, another good action series full of badass women. I really love this one, and it's just like, I don't know, there hasn't been a volume update for here anyway in a while. I was happy when Volume 12 came out, but it's sadly one of those slow-going series. I don't know what happened with that. Then we have Immortal Hounds, which I just got the rest of in my last haul video, which is another action kind of survival story. If you get infected, there's a virus that you can get infected by, and then there's two kind of factions involved, and yeah, it's just one of those more action kind of action-filled bloody series as well. I got up to date with volume 6 because I did see the volume 7th is going to be coming out, or did come out in Japan, and is the final volume. So I have hopes this series is going to finish, maybe. Maybe. Then we have Other Side Picnic. I've talked about that in a older first volume manga review video. I've read up to volume 4 now. You know, I need to buy more because I'm really loving this series. It's really enjoyable. It's more supernatural, otherworld, exploring another world, and has kind of a tie to urban legends, tied to urban legends in Japan. And there's this lovely Yuri element to the story with these two main girls. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this one. Moving on, we have Momo. So I really love the cover, and I love vampire stories, so I obviously had to get Momo, the Blood Taker. This is not, you know, it's a weird series. It definitely isn't going to be for everyone because it has a lolly as the main girl vampire, but it's a story about revenge and murder and mayhem, and yeah, so I enjoy it for what it is, but yeah, it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. Then we have Shadow's House, which honestly I need to get more of. I bought the first volume when it came out, like pre-ordered it, and then I didn't love it enough to immediately get the second volume, but I'm intrigued enough to get the second volume. So yeah, I don't know. If you've read on in this one, I'd also love to hear your thoughts. And then we have Miroko-chan. This one is such an interesting concept. And again, I just haven't picked up more volumes. There's just so much manga out there. And yeah, I really found this to be an interesting supernatural story, but I just haven't got more of it. So just got that first volume. But yeah, anyway, moving on to the last shelf. We have the first volume or omnibus of Gantz. I read a lot of Gantz online a long time ago when they had the single volumes out, and then they were getting hard to find, and so I was collecting these, but again, they're very expensive for like what they are, and I kind of want them to re-release it and do a nicer edition, but then again, they probably won't because I want them to. Anyway, then we have From the Red Fog. I do have volume 2. It is on my TBR card. I'd really like to read it because I wasn't sold on volume 1. I really was intrigued with it and pre-ordered it, and pre-ordered the second one, but the first volume didn't grab me. It's like this psychotic little kid. And I don't know, it wasn't super appealing, but since I have the second volume, I want to give it a try, see how it goes. We have Sino Alice, which I talked about in the same video as Other Side Picnic, so if you want to hear my thoughts on that. I don't think I'll be continuing it. I don't know, I'm still on the fence, but I'm leaning towards not. Then we have Made in Abyss, which I really loved the anime, so I had to get the manga, and I just really haven't read the manga or even been keeping up with the manga now. But yeah, I love the anime, and I think it's a really interesting dark fantasy that I didn't expect to be as dark, to go as hard as it went. But yeah, it's got some real emotional moments in it, at least the anime does. And I presume the manga does as well. I think I did read the first volume or 2, but yeah. Anyway, then we have Fire Punch. Oh, Fire Punch, you saucy dog, you. Yeah, what to say about this one? I don't know. Go watch my Unhinged video on it, where I just kind of lose it about not understanding some things about it, and my thoughts on it. Yeah. And yeah, moving on. We have Breaker, with a martial arts kind of action, older series, older mature audiences. I don't know how you say that. We have the first volume of Killing Stalking. I read a decent chunk of it online. I just wasn't vibing with it. I don't think it's bad. I don't know. It's just very much And neither of them are good guys, but then I feel bad, and complex emotions I have about killing stalking, so I haven't continued it. But you know me, I will probably eventually continue it. Then we have Levius. I really enjoyed the what I thought was a one-shot, and then we got Levius Est. I don't know if that's how you say it, but I was gifted this one back when I was somewhat relevant on Instagram before depression made me stop posting and, you know, life. But I was gifted this by Viz, and so I read it and I, you know, made a post on it, and then I got the second volume, and then I just kind of like haven't kept up with it since then. But yeah, then we have The Drifting Classroom. So this is also by Kazuo Umez, which is the same as Orochi up there, who is an older horror mangaka. I was really enjoying this first volume, and it's only 3 volumes, so I will finish it, but I just haven't wanted to spend my own money on it because there's just a lot of as it went on, there was just a lot of feeling of misogyny, and I know it's older, I know it's like whatever, shrug it off, but it bugged me because it was otherwise a really interesting concept and really interesting like horror of like this school just disappearing from the real world, and then these kids end up in this weird dimension, we don't know why, and they're just trying to survive. So I love the concept. It's just that like really I don't know, maybe it'll get better. I did ask for some volumes for Christmas, so maybe. And then I can see how I feel about the series as a whole. And then we have Anne Freaks, another short 4-volume series that I honestly have not read yet, so I cannot tell you how I feel about it. But again, I think it's more of a psychological type thriller. And yeah, I really need to read more. We have good old Berserk here, which despite all of your, you know, hyping me up, I still haven't read further than the first volume of the first omnibus. I'm sorry. I apologize. But yeah. And then we have the Hellsing that I told you about, the Ultimate Edition hardcovers that I was a sucker and bought. But hey, at least I don't have to buy the reprint because I already own the original. So there's that. Thanks so much for watching all the way through. If you did, I super appreciate it because I can see the average view duration time. And I always feel like really weird when I have a really like low average. I'm like, oh, I must have bored some people and made them close out of the video. So I'm gonna keep the outro super simple and super short. And yeah, thanks for watching. And until next time, bye.